Day 2 in Berlin at the Friedrich Ludwig Jahn Sportpark. It is the 2018 World Para-Athletics European Championships. A fine, successful opening day for Germany. What awaits on day 2?
We are ready to start in the field with the men's javelin throw F64.
Absolutely gorgeous day. Temperature heading towards the 30s on this second day. 22 finals, 21 of them are gold medal events. 12 in the track, 9 in the field. We've got 4 field events to start off with, including the men's long jump T63, which features the Paralympic champion Heinrich Popov. And as the day wears on, likes of the men's 100 meters T12, the 200 meters T13, the great Jason Smith in that, the world's fastest Paralympian. And we round off with finals of the men's 200 meters T54, the fastest wheelchair racers around, T61s, and then a couple of heats to bring us to a conclusion in around 2.5 hours' time. And the women's javelin F13 as well. It's a very good evening from northeast Berlin, from Will Downing and Tulsen Tollett, and the heat is rising.
It is that, Will. It's a beautiful second day. The first day, a bit cloudy, windy conditions. There is a slight wind here at the stadium today, but it is a lovely day, as you can see there in the background. The first of the events we're going to see is the men's javelin throw F64 final. There is the start list. The great Helgi Sveinsen always wears that lucky yellow sack with a picture of a cartoon character. He holds the world record, the European record, and championship record. Roman Novak is first to go on day 2. He'll have the pleasure. There is Helgi Sveinsen, who I mentioned there, holds world records, European records, and championship records. Jonas Spudis of Lithuania. A bronze back in 2014 for him. His results in discus have somewhat overtaken it. Igor Brunner, 4th, just missing out in the medals back in Grosseto 2 years ago. And this man, Igor Brunner. But next to him, someone we've heard about before from France, Tony Falalevaki, took a year out in 2016. Lifetime best of 58.70 for him. Look out for something special from that man.
F64 men's javelin throw. You can see the sector is marked with tape at 30, 40, 50 and 60 metres. The scoreboard is adjacent.
So as Will mentioned, we've got this event and we've got the women's discus throw F55, which is also coming up, with 2 other long events, long jump T63 for the men's and the women's shot put F20. So 4 field events up in very quick succession on day 2 here in Berlin.
There is a 30-second timing clock.
You'd be surprised if you turned up today and wonder what on earth the fuss was about with the cloud cover yesterday and the wind on the opening day, but this is more like it. This is what we want.
And in the discus
this will certainly bring the crowds in.
The cage at the start of the back straight, we are ready for the F55 women's final.
So those first 4 finals in the field, men's javelin F64 you know about, the women's discus F55, which is one of the stronger seated throwing combinations, the women's shot put F20, that's the intellectual category, and men's long jump T63
representing Bulgaria
for athletes with prosthesis. It's one of the 4 new categories introduced, which you probably know a lot about now. So 6 in this men's javelin F64 final.
Throwing at 3, the number ranked
F64 for athletes with prosthesis, single below knee amputees. They were in the 40s for a long time, and the 40s still exist, but the athletes with prosthesis are no longer there. So Roman Novak to get day 2 underway, his first major championship. He's an assistant judge in the local court circuit in Rivne, where he lives. 53.01 is lifetime best, set this year.
You're right there about his first major championship, and he took it up 4 years ago. sometimes in para-athletics you'll see, or in para-sport in general, you'll see people just appear out of nowhere. They take the sport up, they're so good at it, and all of a sudden they're winning medals. That's the hope for Roman Novak. 4 years into his career.
Yeah, he only started, took it up at the age of 25. Obviously, almost every para-athlete comes into the sport from a different angle.
Throwing a 2, representing Greece.
Und als zweite für Griechenland Zoe Montoli.
They've got a great talent spotting program in Ukraine and perennially successful on this on the IAAF circuit, as we've obviously seen across town in the Olympiastadion a couple of weeks ago.
We're waiting for Roman Novak's measurement to come up.
Und als vierte Werferin für die Ukraine Anastasia Minzny.
46.96, so he's obviously in first position, but he will be challenged by the man who's up next.
Und die Weltranglistenzweite für Griechenland.
Helgi Sveinsson. Gold in both the 2014 and 2016 European Championships in Swansea and Grosseto respectively. Silver at the World Championships in London last year.
Und als siebte Werferin die Weltranglistenerste für Großbritannien.
Holds plenty of records. What can he come up with on his first attempt? That's out there over the 50-meter mark. The championship record is 50.74 that Helgi Sveinsson holds.
He's well supported. His family and other fans are here in the main stand, and it's a very well attended main stand, as was the case yesterday for the opening.
And our final introduction for this opening segment of tonight's events is the men's long jump T63 final.
Und als nächstes die Vorstellung unserer Athleten, hier besonders Heinrich Popov, Weitsprung der Herren.
And that, a brilliant throw by Sveinsson.
A new championship record. He's broken his own mark, which was 50.74. He's gone to 51.25. So brilliant start for the man from Iceland.
Now Jonas Bunas, the former European champion from Swansea 4 years ago, the former athletics coach, and then he had an accident which put him into the World Para-Athletics category. And here he is now. He's one of the men to beat. He may have finished 10th in the last two global championships, the Worlds in London last year and the Paralympic Games in Rio, but at European level, silver 2 years ago, champion 4 years ago. And that's why he regularly medals is beyond 40 meters, and it's a significant effort.
Well, he's chasing a championship record already because Helgi Sveinsson in his last and first throw, 51.25, breaking his own championship record that he set 4 years ago in Swansea. Novak in second position from Ukraine, and Spudas just awaiting his mark. More than likely slightly below what the Ukraine Novak has thrown. Yeah, puts him into third position, so 44.99 for Jonas Spudas of Lithuania.
Absolutely gorgeous scene here, the home of Dynamo Berlin. And we have four in the final of the men's long jump T63. This one of the new categories, the single above amputee with prosthesis category. The reigning Paralympic, European, World champions all in this. And here is the reigning Paralympic champion from Rio, Heinrich Popov, joint world champion over 100 meters alongside Scott Reed in a famous dead heat in Lyon in 2013, and won the Paralympic 100 meters title in London 2012. Long jump world champion for the first time in Christchurch in 2011. One of the great para-athletes of all time. And they're going in the reverse direction to where the long jump was in front of the main stand yesterday. You'll see that they're going left to right as we see it, which is opposite the 100 metres opposite the track this time. So Popov on the way. 6:77 is European and world record. He's starting off well. Went a long way, but there's a good reason for that, as he'd gone beyond the board. That was a good jump, but it wasn't a fair jump, as my occasional athletics colleague, Steve Robillard, will say.
Good Australian man, Steve Robillard.
He's a fantastic commentator.
Isn't he just? I remember as a young person growing up listening to him when I was young. Heinrich Popov's still young, and he's still got plenty of time as well. That was his first jump, which has been confirmed as a foul jump. So Popov, 5 left, but he's going to have to do much better.
So for Great Britain, Luke Sinnott made his major championship debut at the London World Championships last year, and he finished 4th, the man from Bournemouth AC. Now, it was the first time he competed in a major championships in London, but he'd been involved in 2 because he was the man who climbed the flagpole to wrap up the London 2012 opening ceremony. But he wasn't on the global para-athletics team then.
And he'll also be competing tonight in the men's 200 metres as well, up against Richard Whitehead. So here goes Luke Sinnott.
He's got 6 metres this year. I think that's a foul, and it is.
It's a unique technique, is the way of describing Luke Sinnott's run-up. Just missed out on the medal in London last year at the World Championships by the barest margins.
He's also competed in the Invictus Games, which is the championship for former military personnel who've been injured in the line of duty, which is how it's another route into the proper global world para-athletic circuit. So a couple of no jumps so far.
Yeah, not always the happiest of ways for people to enter para-athletics, but we're happy to have them nonetheless. So the men's 400 metres T20 is the first of the 2 heats. This is for the intellectually impaired category. 2 heats going, 5 in the first one and 4 scheduled to go in the second, 6 minutes after this one gets underway. Jean-Marc Sverdersen, former swimmer, S14 200-metre freestyler, gold in 2012, Correa Presta of Portugal. His first major championships for that man there. And on the outside of him, Onur Kubuzlu of Turkey, 7th in the 2016 championships. He was 6th last year at the World Championships in London. 2 Portuguese athletes. There's the second one in this race, Carlos Lima. He's also a long jumper. He was 8th in Grosseto back 2 years ago. And running on the outside, that man there, Gilbert Anton Orav of Estonia, his first major championship. So we've got 2 runners in this who are making the jump up, the step up, whichever way you want to look at it, for the first time over 200 metres. So we've got Sverdersen in 3, Correa Bessa in 4, Kapuzlu in 5, Lima in 6, and Orav of Estonia out in lane 7.
On your mark.
Always a tough race to call when you've got 2 new people in to their first major championships to see what they can come up with. So the men's 400 metres T20 for the intellectually impaired category. The first heat out of 2 is away, and out there 2 lanes in from the outside, it's Carlos Lima of Portugal, who's got away to a very quick start indeed. He's already taken on the outside there of Gilbert Anton Orav of Estonia. So it's Lima who leads at the moment, but it's his fellow Portuguese athlete, Correa Bessa, making his first start at a major championships, who's now moving up on the inside at a good pace. So around 200 metres to go. It's Correa Bessa who leads from Kapuslu of Turkey on the outside, and Lima of Portugal, who is in 3rd position. It's the first 3 who automatically go through in this heat, and then it'll be the next 2 fastest to advance through to the quarterfinals. So all 3 of these will go through at the moment. On the inside, it's Correa Bessa of Portugal, but moving through in the first place now, it's his compatriot Carlos Lima, who's going across the line. In 2nd place, there's a struggle on there, but it looks like Carlos Bessa has gone across in 2nd place, and Kapuslu, the Turkish athlete who's splitting them, has gone across to take the 3rd qualifying position. So the time there, 53.11. Not the quickest of times, but the weather today is a little bit warmer, and we'll get confirmation of that in a moment. So Sandro Patricio Correa Bessa, good run from him, but it's Carlos Lima who takes the win in lane 6 from Portugal. So 2 of the Portuguese athletes who go through, but well, he got away quickly on the outside there, did Carlos Lima to start with. Held himself in the middle 200 metres of the race, and then as cool as you like in the home straight, coming home, easing home for the victory. All 3 of them at that point knew they were going to be going through, but he just puts the foot down on the outside. Carlos Lima, his career best is 52.12 coming into this race. Doesn't matter too much there because he's through to the final, and that will be when he looks to beat that personal best. So Portugal in 1st and 3rd position, split by Erna Kapuslu of Turkey. There is confirmation. Lima wins the opening men's 400 metres T20. 1 more to come in the coming minutes.
So, und Berlin, jetzt muss es laut werden. Ab dem 2. Versuch hat gesagt, brauche euch. Also, Berlin, Heinrich.
So now let's go back then to the javelin. Tony Paralympic, former world champion from Lyon in 2013. Paralympic silver in London 2012, and that is a monster. That is a terrific throw. Now remember, it's a multi-category event here. We've seen a championship record already from Helgi Sveinsen, and that is well beyond, but Palalaviki's an F44 to Sveinsen's F63. He's the European record holder, 58.21, and that 54.71 puts him in front.
Yeah, 4 different categories going in this one. F42s, 43s, 44s, and 63s, but they're all, as you said, in the same
Heat 2, the men's 400 metres T20, and everybody in this making their full championship debut. There's a little bit of form going into it. Johannes Hull of Germany is the fastest of the year, lifetime best set this year. Italy, Germany, Portugal and Belgium represented in this. And they're all in their teens as well, the oldest in this. Here he is, Johannes Hull is 19 years old, from Dresden, of the Cottbus and Dresdner club. Gorgeous day. This is what it was like during the other European Athletics Championships held in the Olympiastadion a couple of weeks ago. Officially it's 23 Celsius, but I think we all here know a bit better than that. It's knocking on 38 midweek a couple of weeks ago. So Raffaella Di Maggio of Italy is only 17 years old, from Palermo, and one of his sporting idols, Petro Mineo, whose 200 metres championship record got broken a couple of weeks ago at the Olympiastadion. It's a world record for a long time as well. Johannes Hull of Germany Dresden, he goes in lane 4. Also has been a para footballer. Lane 5 for Portugal, from Braga, Carlos Carvalho. He's 19 as well. Turned 19 a few weeks ago. And in lane 6 for Belgium, from Dinks up in the north near the border with the Netherlands, Jan de Kouter. He was the flag bearer Van Kouter for Belgium in the World Junior Championships in Notwil last year, and bronze in the Belgian Para Cross-Country Championships 2 years ago. So it's the top 3 again to go through, and the next 2 fastest losers. 57.29 run by Sversen earlier. DiMaggio in 3, Hole in 4, Carvalho in 5, and Kouter in lane 6.
Set.
So the top 3 to go through. Good start by Van Kouter in 6. He is normally the slowest and lifetime best going into this, and he wanted to get off to a good advantage, but now the rest are accelerating. And Jonas Hall of Germany coasting at the moment. The oldest having been born in 1998. Raffaella DiMaggio also going very, very strongly. A man who got into para-athletics when his school teacher recommended he give it a try a few years ago. DiMaggio in front, Hall in second place. Bit of a fight back from Carvalho Freitas. A little bit distracting these days that in this and the IAAF circuit, Portugal this year have gone for the similar colours to Poland, but it's DiMaggio leading the way. Hall is going to go through with him, and so will Carvalho, and they'll go through in that order as well. Good performance from DiMaggio. 52.11 takes it for Italy. Hall in second place, and Carvalho taking third. They're the 3 to progress. It's a nice time as well. 52.09. It's been rounded down to officially, and he was not under much duress there at all.
Come on, guys.
An impressive start by Van Kouter, and well, I guess if it were a shorter race, he'd have had the hop on them, but how they improved as it wore on. And when they straightened up, DiMaggio in front of Hall, it was a decent margin with Carvalho in third, and with the top 3 to go through, there was no real threat of any of them being overturned by Van Kouter. They're the 3 who progress.
Great Britain has set the championship record in round 1 at 12 metres.
First major championship race for the top 3. It's good to have that under the belt. The final tomorrow in this men's 400 metres T20. It's the intellectual category. DiMaggio is through, and in fact they all are, because Van Kouter is the fastest loser. Sversen will go through as well, and that will all do very nicely. Time for something a bit classical.
About as classical as you can get. Daniel Wagner making his bow in the long jump. Well, that looks quite nice. That looks quite nice indeed. That's well over the 6 metre mark. Well, he holds a championship record, does Daniel Wagner, coming into this. 6:22. You can see that one there. It's heading on the far side. You can see the markers. That's heading up towards at least around the 6:50 mark, possibly further towards 7. Well, there it is. 6:49 for Wagner. That's a championship record.
So Popov having to respond to that immediately, and no jump in the opening round. 6:49, very impressive. Get things up and running for Wagner. That's a season's best for him. Championship record set 4 years ago. This may be a T63, but the athletes are carrying records across with them.
So we'll come down to Christian. And the combination because it is very well competition about to take his third attempt.
Popov taking gold in Rio, who was fourth in the 100 metres. Very good sprinter. Also, as we know, very well supported. He's gone out to 6:21 this year. Wagner has really set an impressive standard, and he's judged that one right. That championship record, 6:49 by Wagner. And Popov will certainly get into the medals there, because the other three in the final have all fouled in the opening 2 rounds. We're into round 3 now. Wagner with a 6:49, 6:45 so far. He's certainly going to second at the very least. Sort of knocking on the door of Wagner's 6:49. Remains competitive. He is a veteran, but still has got many years ahead of him.
4 athletes in this event, and get ready to roll.
It's a long wait for him in the Berlin sunshine, and for everybody. It has not come up yet. It is still being measured. Patience is a virtue. It's a nice tilt between him and Wagner. We'll be seeing Wagner on the track as well this week. 6:24, season's best. He's in the silver medal position.
Well, next up on the track is the women's 1500 metres T13 final. 4 runners. Including the European record holder, Greta Strimkita of Ireland.
So drawn 4 in this women's 1500 metres, representing Spain.
Spain's Iskasun. Jose Ayuka, who's going from Spain on lane 4. Inside her, Greta Strimkita of Ireland, heavily fancied. Born in Vilnius in Lithuania, moved to Ireland in 2010. Turkey's Asli Adali, her first major championships. 20 years of age. Now inside, it's Maria del Carmen Paredes Rodriguez. Interesting story about her. It's her husband, Lorenzo Sanchez Martin, who's her guide. She only took up running at the age of 42. Her husband convinced her. Well, they're running as a pair in this one. T13 is optional to run with a guide. The least of the visually impaired categories. So they're ready to get underway. Just waiting for the starters' orders, which I'm sure will come very shortly. And away they get. It's Strimkita who gets away at the first time of asking, quickly out to the front, so she's already a couple of metres out as you would expect. It's Asli Adali and Isaskun Oses Ayaka of Spain, who's in third position, and just trailing up there is the second of the Spaniards, Maria del Carmen Paredes Rodriguez, who's with her guide at the back. So this is a straight-out final. Straight Makita at the front. Top three of her, Asli Adali, Oses Ayaka of Spain, as they come across down the finishing straight for the first time. They'll have 3 laps remaining as they head across on the finishing line here. So it's Makita of Ireland who leads as they go through with 1,200 to go.
Yeah, 3 laps remaining. Makita out in front and looking very good for it at the moment. Isaskun Oses Ayuka of Spain in second place. Gave birth to her first child in December, Ika, and obviously her husband Daniel Zudare is a national level athlete in his own right back in Spain. Silver in the 400, 1500. That's quite a spread in terms of the women's T13. And Asli Adali of Turkey, the first major championship, still going very well in third position, with Maria Paredes Rodriguez behind the rest. She's the T12 going with the guide, as she is entitled to do it, being medium visual impairment. The rest T13 have to go without. Makita, who's gone through DCU, a very good athletics college, university coach, the Lord in Edna Fitzpatrick. She's done international relations, been a documentary about her as well. Well, if she pulls through with a strong result here, having won bronze in the last Europeans in Grosseto 2 years ago, they might have to make another one, update it. She's looking very good. It's a solid lead for Makita for Ireland. Oses Ayuka in second place. Back a good bit to Adali in third with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, Makita's looking very solid, isn't she, out there in front? She's got a lead of about 10 to 15 metres at the moment of Oses Ayuka. She's formerly a national champion in Taekwondo, and now is on the track and not doing the martial arts. So in third place there, it's Asli Adali of Turkey, but trailing back a good 50 metres or so behind. It's Maria Paredes Rodriguez with her guide, her husband, trying to egg her on and get her home quick there, but it's Makita who moves into the final half of this lap on that back straight. She's opened up that lead now to a good 20 metres over Oses Ayuka of Spain as they move around with around 200 metres remaining on this lap. She's looking very, very solid. Out in front is the Irish athlete. I mentioned there, obviously being born in Vilnius in Lithuania, moving over to Ireland back in 2010. She's been quite a revelation for Irish para-athletics as she moves around here into the home straight. Just some athletes there warming up on the side, so she's well inside them, but she's opened up quite a gap now. It's up to around 30 metres as she really moves forward. She'll come through to take the belt, and she'll have 400 metres left to go if she is to improve on that European record in the T13, which she currently holds at 4:43.42.
There goes the bell. It's Greta Makita who leads for Ireland in this women's 1,500 metres final. Oses Ayuka in second place, around 40 metres behind now. A big gap, around 150 metres. Adali is in third position. Makita looking very solid as she goes into the shadows of this Friedrich Ludwig Jahn Stadium in Berlin. There's the bell for third place for Adali. That lead is increasing all the time. It's very, very solid for Makita. Fourth in London at last year's World Championships. Fourth in the Paralympic Games in Rio. But she's looking very good for a European gold here. She's holding a very solid advantage, 50 metres or so, as you can see, over Isaskun Oses Ayuka of Spain, the former Nash from Pamplona. Silver on the double in the last European Championships 2 years ago. Bronze in the 1,500 metres ahead of Makita in Rio at the Paralympic Games. The closing straight, Greta Makita leads for Ireland ahead of Oses Ayuka. And it's gone according to plan for her. She's out on her own and well clear. Michael McKellar's been so successful in the men's circuit, but now Greta Makita is the European champion for Ireland in the women's 1,500 metres, 4:48.55. She won by a long way. is Askan Ozezayukar, second for Spain. But Ireland strike gold. She's the first Irish athlete competing this week, and she's a European champion. Asli Adali is going to come through to win the bronze medal for Turkey in a major championship debut, and that's a great story in its own right for the 20-year-old. Comes through in around 5:20. But Greta Stray-Mikita, whose dad moved to Ireland in 2006, the rest of the family moved 4 years later. It's a common thing in Eastern Europe. Moved from Lithuania to Ireland. She's come through the Irish system, and she's European champion now. Fourth for Bridas Rodriguez. Spain in second and fourth, but the European champion for Ireland, Greta Stray-Mikita. 4:48.54 the winning time, and there's a documentary to update now. Great win.
Yeah, she went out from the start, didn't she? Immediately when they went under the starter's order, she was out by about 2 or 3 metres straight away. She extended that to around 15 metres over Ozezayukar, and then from there, in the last 400 to 500 metres, she stretched it out even further. 6 seconds outside that European mark she set back in May of this year, but she won't care, because later on she'll be presented with a gold medal, being European champion.
Joins the legion of great middle distance champions for Ireland, not just Dr. McKillop, but Sonia Sullivan, Eamon Coughlin, Ronnie Delaney. Always a classic distance for Irish runners, and Greta Stray-Mikita is the European champion. 4:48.54, gold for Ireland, silver for Spain's is Askan Ozezayukar, and bronze for Asli Adali of Turkey. To the field, and potential of good fortune.
Indeed. Lady from Wrexham.
It's the F20 women's shot put. Sabrina Fortune with a very, very solid effort. This is the intellectual category, and she's got off to a very, very solid start in this event. Eva Duska, the world record holder, won this title in Grosseto a couple of years ago. 12:89, she's in the lead. So now the final of the women's 100 metres, T35, a real classic event. Great names coming through year after year, and two jousting in this, Ria Lyle and Oksana Korsa. Ria Lyle, who broke through in Swansea in 2014 to win both the 100 and 200 European crowns for Great Britain. Did it again in Grosseto 2 years later. Bronze in London last year in the 100 and 200. This is Isis Holt's event. World champion for Australia. Terrific athlete in her own right, as is Ria Lyle, the 4 times European champion. Silver in the Commonwealth Games in the 100 metres behind Isis Holt. Great champion too on the double. World Championships 2013 in the 1 and 2 for Italy, Oksana Korsa. Married recently. Lane 5 for Poland, European bronze in the 100 and 200 in Grosseto 2 years ago. Jagoda Kabil from Kosilice. In lane 6 for the Netherlands, 4th of the 100 and 200 in the Europeans in Swansea in 2014, Ninka Timmer. Another good candidate in lane 7 for the Czech Republic, and she finished 4th. Last year, Anna Luxova in London, and in lane 8, first major championship from the Dnipro region in Ukraine, Valeria Janhol.
We are all set for the women's.
Well, year after year, a big name breaks through and sweeps the board. Great strength and depth. This is one of the really strong categories. T35, the sprints in the women's. This coordination impairment, and the most affected of the standing categories. Lyle in 3, Corso 4, Kibble 5, Timmer 6, Luxova 7, Jan Hall in lane 8. In beautiful Berlin sunshine. The final of the women's 100 meters. T35. Left a long time, but what a start by Lyle, and Corso alongside, and Timmer's going very well for the Netherlands as well. But Maria Lyle, who's been here before, all those European titles that she picked up in Swansea 4 years ago, she's going to do it again. It's Lyle who'll win for Great Britain. Timmer will be second for the Netherlands, and it looked like Kibble was up in third for Poland. Oksana Corso, for once, out of the medals in the Europeans. 15.32, it's a decent time, it's outside her own championship record in Swansea 4 years ago, but Maria Lyle does it again. For the third time, she's European champion over 100 metres. Another terrific display from the Scot. And Timmer, how about that? Her first major championship medal. A silver behind the great Maria Lyle. Jan Hall has been given third for the time being. That to be ratified, but there was no doubt about the top two, and particularly the number one in this. Out of lane 3, Maria Lyle got into her stride very well. It's one of those categories where it's hard to get the rhythm going, but she did. Timmer through in second place, and Jan Hall looks to have got the photo against Kibble, to have got the bronze right at the death. Lyle looking so smooth. It doesn't always happen in the coordination impairment categories, but she was smooth there. Corso was down in 5th on this occasion, unusual for her. And Lyle, such a decent margin for her in the end, ahead of the rest.
Magst du das auch optimistisch, oder? Ja, also wenn Max schon optimistisch ist, kann nicht schief gehen.
Yeah, Maria Lyle.
Daniel Wagner, brauchen wir einen Applaus.
When she goes up against Isis Holt, it's going to be something, isn't it, in the future when those two go up against each other again?
It always is. So Maria Lyle takes it 15.32. Timmer gets the silver, Jan Hall the bronze by 300ths against Kibble of Poland.
So let's go back to the Javelin. 64, the final for the men. Roman Novak of Ukraine. That's out there over the 50-metre mark. We started off with a 46.96. He's building upon that. There he is, 52.29 for his 4th. His best so far, he's 2nd. So the men's 800 metres T36, just a 2 in this, a non-medal event. This for coordination impairment. We've just seen a 100-metre version of it. It's now 800 metres, 2 running, both of them from Spain. Jose Manuel Gonzalez took up the sport back in 1989 in Gijón. 4th in 2008 in the Paralympic Games. His best result over this distance. World Cup bronze in 2011. Won 3 medals on his debut at a major champs at Barcelona Paralympic Games back in 92. This man on his outside, his compatriot Jose Pampano. A silver over 1,500 metres back in 2004 at the Paralympic Games. His best ever result. He was 6th, and this event was in Grosseto 2 years ago. It's warm, it's hot. There's only 2 on the track. There's no medals up for grabs, but this will be about pride. Both experienced campaigners. Lifetime best for Gonzalez of 2:14.47 on the left of your screen there, and Jose Pampano 2:18.79 is the lifetime best. 47-year-old on the inside versus the 39-year-old on the outside, and they've been held up again. I promise you we'll be underway shortly. Just waiting for one of the long jumpers to take their jump in the background there. And we'll be underway.
On your mark.
One of those things that happens. But we're away this time. And you can see Gonzalez, who gets away quickly there. Now this obviously is the coordination impairment, so sometimes they can really tighten up as they come home and really pick up the speed. But their first 100 metres with no difficulties whatsoever, and they're pretty much neck and neck at the moment as they move into the inside lane of the track. It's Gonzalez who leads. Jose Pampano, 47 years age of experience, who's in the lead against 39 years young, who's in second place with around 600 metres to go in this one. So Pampano just pushing there to stay with his compatriot Gonzalez. As they move into the home straight for the first time. And they'll get the bell as they go across the finishing line. In the second 400 metres, when they really push, especially in this weather, is when you might see them tighten up somewhat as they come down towards the finishing line. But they're looking solid at the moment. They're looking strong as they go across and take the bell one after another. Around a 5-metre gap at the moment. As I said, this is a non-medal event, just the two runners who are taking part in this one. So it's a battle for national pride with two Spaniards in this one. Championship record set by Evgeny Shvetsov of 2:05.05 back 6 years ago in the Netherlands. And just stretching out there, Jose Manuel Gonzalez is around 10 metres in front. 200 metres or so left remaining in this men's 800 metres T36 final. Just thought there for a moment Gonzalez might have been tightening up somewhat, but the man at the back there, Jose Pampano, is now being really dropped off, and the speed is being picked up as they move into the last 120 metres. Jose Manuel Gonzalez, as I said, he's been racing in parasport since 1989, so he's been around for almost 30 years, loads of experience. He's been here before. There's 50 metres left to go to take the victory. Jose Pampano is doing his best from behind there. He's just trying to keep his coordination. It's really starting to tighten up somewhat as he brings home. But the man who goes across the line, Jose Manuel Gonzalez, takes it in a time of 2:27.01. His compatriot Pampano comes across around 5 or 6 seconds later. But a good run by both these athletes.
And this will be the
you can see the disappointment on the face of Jose Pampano there. He's up. He has got across though, happy for each other. 2:27.01 official time for Jose Manuel Gonzalez. No medals in this event. Just the sheer pride of taking the victory. And that's what it is. Spain first and second. There was never any doubt, was there?
It doesn't matter. He's the European champion. It is gold for France and Tony Palavaki.
Crowd are enjoying themselves on this second afternoon of these 7-day championships. Of course, over the next 3 days, there'll be double sessions on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, single sessions on Saturday and Sunday. $40 meters or so the difference in the end for your winner, Jose Manuel Gonzalez, beating home Jose Pampano.
Has guaranteed herself the silver medal, so we have one shot put remaining, and once again, it is for the new European champion. It's Sabrina Fortune of Great Britain.
Smiles all around.
Another big bronze goes to Ukraine.
So Gonzalez 2:27.01, Pampano 2:33.83 in second.
Sabrina Fortune of Great Britain.
And you'll see the chairs are back shortly as the action continues here in Berlin on a typical glorious evening in this part of the world. So let's go back to Luke Sinnott. It is the men's long jump. It's T63.
In the women's discus, we've had
trying to barge his way into the medals.
of Czech Republic has just been prepared in her
Close enough to it, but I fancy maybe not close enough. He'd fouls in the first 2 rounds, following it up with a 5:29 in round 3. We've already seen a very impressive championship record in this from Daniel Wagner, starting off with 6:49, and he barely used the board there, so he gave about 20 centimeters away. 5:29 it is, and he's in the bronze medal position.
The bronze medal from Italy, Marco Pentargoli.
Tony Falalovakic in the javelin, our leader. We're into round 4. And good season's best in the opening round of 54.71, and that looks to be around the same region, certainly well beyond 50.
There's the answer, 54.76. He improves his season best. He's in first position. Here's the Frenchman. So Daniel Wagner of Denmark, 6:49. His best so far, the championship record. What can he do here? Well, that's not too far off it either. Well, I said 6:49. It's a little bit deceptive, that angle there, from what we're looking at. But it's certainly a fair jump. A good jump. Almost as close to the board as you can get. 6:72. Improvement. Breaking his own championship record.
It's only 5 centimeters off Popov's world record, set 2 years ago. Back on the track at the final of the women's 200 meters, T53, the strongest of the wheelchair racing categories. 3 in this from Turkey, 2 from Switzerland.
Geschichte wird geschrieben und ihr wollt sie mitschreiben hier in Berlin. Also, helles Team.
Well, we'll start off in lane 7. She was in the 4x4 squad in Rio, but Turkey unfortunately disqualified for that due to a changeover. It's Nursa Usta of Bachelor Baladiesi. Alongside her in lane 6 for Switzerland, first major championship for Tanja Henseler, the 20-year-old. All the 3s, lifetime best, set this year. The one they all have to beat, though, in lane 5. Reigning European champion over 100 and 400 metres and bronze in this 200 metres in the World Championships in London, Hamidi Kurz. In lane 4 for Switzerland, like her compatriot Henseler, first major championship for Anita Scherer.
And in lane 7, representing Turkey.
And in lane 3, right at the back and obscured by Scherer, the bronze medalist, the 100 and 400 in the European Championships in Grosseto 2 years ago, Zeynep Asset. Kurt, by far the one to beat in the middle lane. Asset in 3, Sheriff 4, Kurt 5, Hensler 6, and Usta in lane 7. Turkey, Switzerland, Turkey, Switzerland, Turkey. The final of the women's 200 metres, T53. Again, being left a long time.
On your mark.
The women's 200 metres final. So away they go finally, and Kurt off to a very, very solid start, and also Hensler of Switzerland alongside of the 20-year-old. But how many Kurt in an event where Sammy Kinghorn of Great Britain has been very strong the past few years. Kurt going very well in the middle lane of the 5, into the closing straight, and looking well good for victory. It looks as if it'll be a strong, fast time as well for Hamidi Kurt, who's going to hit gold for Turkey again, as she did at 100 and 400 2 years ago. Kurt takes the gold for Turkey. Great battle for second place, and Assad's going to take it with Hensler third. Turkey 1 and 2. Kurt and Zeynep Assad, with Hensler getting the bronze for Switzerland, and it's a championship record, 35.73. Fabulous performance. That has been well rounded down due to a clock malfunction. That's 31.5 seconds that she's won in. How many Kurt? 31.59. And she's gone much faster than that this year. That new championship record to break the mark set 13 years ago in Espoo by Francesca Pozzolatto of Italy. She was in a class of her own in this, and she was not going to be denied unless she hit a bumper gutter puncture, and that doesn't happen. Look at the gap in the end. Hensler clear in third ahead of Scherer, the Swiss third and fourth, but Turkey with the top 2 positions, and Hamidi Kurt has done it again. A really terrific athlete. The T53s on a global scale, very strong. That's Madison Rosario's territory, and the best of those step up to T54 on occasion as well, and Hamidi Kurt actually is one of those that does that. But a championship record for her, 31.59. She is the European champion again. Hamidi Kurt takes the gold, Zeynep Assad the silver. Gold and silver for Turkey, hence the bronze for Switzerland.
What's your impression?
That was the surprise.
So back we go to Heinrich Popov, his 5th attempt, currently in 2nd position, 6.24 his best to date. He's got some work to do if he's to catch Wagner, and he hasn't. Well, that one there is only around the 6-metre mark. Wagner has broken the championship record twice. He broke it 6.49, his own record he broke in his first jump, 6.72 in his third. He leads at present. And Popov is going to have to be content with being in 2nd position, only 5.95. Well, back to the javelin. That's Helgi Sveinsson, the F64.
Always admire Iceland. Population of 350,000. What they do in many sports across the board, athletics, para-athletics, football, is astonishing. And that is a terrific throw. Remember, he's in a different category to some of the other throwers, and what that means is that he is eligible to set records. He did that in the opening round of 51.25. Down in the bronze medal position, another championship record, 51.51, but still in bronze.
Back to the track, men's 200 metres, T53. 4 starters, Brignoni of France, Fairbank of France, Castaldi of Italy, and Mutez Yomni of Great Britain. So on the outside lane there is the man from Great Britain, the man from Kingston upon Thames, born in Tunisia, moved to London at the age of 6. Lifetime best of 26.64. He'll go from lane 6. That was set in Grosseto 2 years ago. So he'll be looking to improve on that at these championships, as he did in the last Europeans in 2016. He'll go from lane 6. He's the reigning champion as well, having won that 2 years ago. Here's a man who knows a thing or two about winning, Pierre Fairbank. He lives in Noumea in New Caledonia. Senior debut back in 1998. 20 years ago. 4 European records, including one in this event. Diego Gastaldi of Italy, formerly a para rower, the 34-year-old from Velletri, will go from lane 4. And on the inside lane in 3, Nicolas Brignoni's idol is Pierre Fairbank. Well, he's going to go up against him in this race here. His first major championship was at Lyon in his home country back in 2013. He was 6th in Grosseto 2 years ago. So Fairbank holds the European record of 25.84. He set in Arbonne in Switzerland last May. So 15 months ago. Can he improve on it? Here, the championship record held by a Swiss in Bojan Mitic, 27.57 for that. The reigning champion, Murtez Yomni. It can always be difficult going in the outside lane. Get away quickly. Well, I can tell you who did get away quickly. It was Fairbank, second from the outside. He is absolutely flying, is Pierre Fairbank, and coming through on the inside is Nicolas Brignoni, who's moved up into second place. But Pierre Fairbank is miles ahead as he comes around into the home straight. He is absolutely motoring. Brignoni is in second place, and it's Yomni who's in third, but down there over the line. Let's just have a look at the time for this one. Fairbank goes across a new championship record by the looks of it there. Well, it's a France 1-2. So Fairbank goes across in first place. It's Brignoni goes across in second place. And Pierre Fairbank, he holds the European record at 25.84. We'll just get confirmation on the time there, but he got out of the blocks. He was up on Murtez Yomni's wheel straight away after the first 3 or 4 metres. And there it is, confirmation of a championship record of 26.92 for Pierre Fairbank of France. Also bettering the time of Bojan Mitic. Well, that is a quick start. Just look at that there when he gets away. You can see Yomni on the outside. He's up to him within 5 metres, and he comes into the home straight. He's way, way in front. Just straightens up that front wheel. A good 5 metres ahead of Nicolas Brignoni. Well, Brignoni, the man he idolises, he couldn't catch him. He came home in first place, did Fairbank. Brignoni makes it a France 1-2, and it's Great Britain who picks up a bronze medal. And Murtez Yomni couldn't do what he did 2 years ago, but he's picked up a bronze medal. For Pierre Fairbank, a new championship record for him. Such class, such ability. He won this event in 2014, didn't compete in 2016. He's back in 2018, I can tell you, in Berlin. He's picked up gold. Confirmation, 26.92 the time there, a new European record, or championship record I should say. And Brignoni 27.65 in second, and Yomni picks up the bronze, 29.06. So Popov, as we head back to the long jump, it's his 6th and final attempt. He's in second position.
6.24 is best so far, needs to improve, needs to get close to his world record and probably break it in order to get the gold, but that'll be 6.5 at the very, very best, and possibly not even close to that. Daniel Wagner's got the gold for Denmark. It's quite a chase between these two on the track and in the jumps. And Popov still going so strong at the age of 35. World record from 2 years ago, 6.77, 6.05 that time. Silver for him, for Germany in front of a home crowd. Daniel Wagner gets the gold, then a championship record of 6.72, which came in the third round. And not only that, but 5 centimeters away from the world record. And Dagoni got the bronze, but a fabulous silver for Popov.
So with that special farewell, thank you to Heinrich Popov. We also say hello, thank you, and welcome to the governing mayor of Berlin, the patron of these championships, Nico.
And we have the victor for France at the men's javelin, Tony Paralympic, a season's best, 54.76. That's a unique way to fly the tricolour. And he basically won it with his first throw as well. Paralympic victory for France, gets the gold, 54.76. Novak the silver for Ukraine, and Helgi Sveinsson the bronze for Iceland.
Classes 11 to 13 are allocated to athletes with varying degrees of visual impairment. T12 athletes have a higher visual acuity than T11.
It's a frenetic night.
All have a field of vision with less than 5 degrees radius. They may choose to compete with a gap.
Next up, the final of the women's 100 metres, T12, medium visual impairment. And the home crowd have got a big name to cheer on here.
In lane 1, representing
So for Spain in lane 1, first major championship for the 16-year-old Alba Garcia Falagan, guide Jaime Del Rio Ruiz. The reigning European champion from 2 years ago in Grosseto, champion of the 100 and the 200. It's Captain Muller-Rothgart and a guide Alexander Kosenkov.
In lane 5, representing Spain.
Lane 5 for Spain. She won her heat, the 400 metres champion from the last Europeans 2 years ago, Melanie Burgess-James, and a guide Sergio Sanchez Palinsar.
And in
lane 7 for Poland and running solo. It's Gosia Ignatiak, bronze in the 100 and 200 of the World Championships in London last year. Oksana Batorchuk had won her heat, but was later disqualified very late last night. It was the final race of the evening, the opening day here in Berlin. So it's wide open for goal, but Muller-Rothgart, a prime candidate, born in Duisburg, lives in Bochum, next door. Great party town. They'll have another reason to this evening if she gets through with victory. Garcia in lane 1. And a championship debut. The other 3 have major championship medals to their name. Garcia, Falagan in 1. Muller-Rothgart in 3. Burgess-James in 5. Ignatiak in lane 7. The first 3 was guides, the last without in this T12. Guides are optional. Final, the 100 metres T12. And away they go first time. It's a great start by Burgess-James for Spain, looking very strong. Muller-Rothgart will have to come into her own very swiftly, and she's coming to in the final half of this one. Muller-Rothgart is going to take it again. She's going to retain her title. Muller-Rothgart wins it. Second place was Burgess-James, who started so well. An immensely tight in third between Ignatiak and Garcia for the bronze medal. But Muller-Rothgart has done it again. Well, she was hanging on as the fastest loser last night, and then it turned out that she'd won the heat following the disqualification of Batorchuk. It was 12.78, the ratified winning time. And Bochum has a European champion once more. No doubt about Burgess-James in second place. But the battle for third was so close. Burgess-James in second, 13.11. What a brilliant start it was by the Spanish athlete, the European 400 metres champion from 2 years ago. Then Muller-Rothgart got the acceleration alongside her guide, Alexander Kosenkov. And in third was Ignatiak. And actually a nice margin in the end between her and Garcia Falligan, but there's so many bodies that fly across the line all at once. And it was Mularaka there ahead of the rest. Worthy champion once more. She broke onto the European scene 4 years ago in Swansea when she won silver in the 100, 200 and the long jump. And a loud run free in the end by Alexander Kosakov again. Germany hit gold again, and it's their first of the evening in Berlin, and that's the way to do it. Fantastic for Katrin Müller-Rothgart, European champion once more. It's one of her fastest times of the season too. Müller-Rothgart gets the gold for Germany, 12.78 seconds. Vega Skames, the silver for Spain, and Gosia Ignasiak, the bronze for Poland.
So here is Sabrina Fortune in the women's shot put F20, her 6th attempt. She broke the championship record with her very first. She broke it again on her 3rd. What's she done there? She may have even done even better again. 21-year-old from Wrexham. She's the winner. She has 13.30, a new championship record for the Great Britain athlete. So confirmation of the result, a championship record for Sabrina Fortune. Eva Derska in 2nd, 12.93, and Anastasia Minsk in 3rd position, 12.46, taking the bronze medal. So the men's 100 metres T12, medium visual impairment. None of these athletes are travelling with guides. Tobias Jonsson, his brother, competed in the T13 long jump yesterday, failed to medal. He came 4th. Can his brother, Tobias, do better here? Qualified as the fastest loser. The man from Sweden. This man set new lifetime best in his heat, winning that yesterday. Athanasios Gavelis of Greece, 18 years of age. He was 10th at the World Championships last year. Looking to medal this time out. Hakan Shearer, 8th in the last European Championships. He won bronze over 400 metres there. This, of course, over the 100. And Luis Goncalves qualified as the fastest loser from his heat. He did win silver in Grosseto in the 4x100. So Jonsson in 1, Gavelis in 3. Shearer of Turkey goes in 5. And on the outside lane, it's Portugal's Luis Goncalves. The men's 100 metres T12 final. Well, away they get straight away, fast on the outside. There's Luis Goncalves who gets away quickest of all, but rocketing home. It's Athanasios Gavelis of Greece who's going to take the win. Can he hold on just on the outside there? It's Hakan Shearer who takes 2nd, and it's a tight one for 3rd. It might have even been Goncalves on the outside who's just tipped ahead of Tobias Jonsson. We'll get confirmation on that one in a moment. 11:47 is the time. So no European record or world record set there, but it is the 18-year-old Athanasios Gavelis who flew home in the last 60 metres. Confirmation of the time, 11.47, so didn't break his own lifetime best. He missed out by 2.20 of a second, which he set in the heat yesterday. He might be tired, he might be emotional, and he's a winner. He's a European champion. 11.47 seconds, but you just see Luis Goncalves of Portugal gets away very quickly on the outside, but just look at the technique of the Greek youngster running there in lane 3, puts his head up, storms home in that last 60 or so. Just outside him is the Turkish athlete who gets it in Hakan Şira, and it is Luis Goncalves who gets away in 3rd place, but he was the fastest to get away, Goncalves. He was extremely quick with his reaction time out of the blocks there. But it's Greece who takes it, Turkey in 2nd, and Portugal who picks up the bronze medal, with Sweden in 4th place. Well, he came 10th in the World Championships in London last year. A bit of experience, a bit of learning, a bit of know-how. He's now a European champion. So Gavelis, 11.47, wins the gold medal. Hakan Şira of Turkey picks up silver, and Luis Goncalves of Portugal with a bronze medal.
Next up, it is the final of the women's T11 long jump.
Als nächstes hier unten, direkt vor der Tribüne, der Weitsprung der Damen T11, das Finale.
So the women's long jump T11 complete visual impairment. 4 go in this, representing Sweden, Spain and Finland.
Championship Rekordhalterin Victoria Carlsson.
Jumping second, representing
All with
Spain.
guides.
Als Zweitspringerin für Spanien Liabel Quintana.
Jumping third, representing Finland.
Die dritte Springerin für Finnland, Ronja Oja.
Ronja Oja, whose guide is her brother, who's a national class athlete in Finland in his own right. We've seen Liabel Quintana for Spain, and last we introduced Merichel Blaya Faust. Victoria Carlsson, a prime candidate for Sweden also. World record held by Silvania Costa, Brazil, in that pre-Paralympics event in Sao Paulo 2 years ago. And if you saw the men's equivalent yesterday, it's quite an event. It is literally a leap of faith.
What I consider the bravest event in para-athletics.
In sport?
Possibly, arguably. All I say to people is imagine putting on a blindfold, running down a slip of nice grass in the middle of nowhere and just seeing how you get on if someone's clapping their hands, because that's what happens. We have the guides, we need complete silence, and the guide will clap their hands. You'll hear it on the effects when we remain silent for it, and then the guide will guide them in and make sure they run straight. Sometimes they'll move out to the left, they might move out to the right, but they have to get back to that middle track and be jumping off a board where the measurement goes from where they jump from. If they fail to make it onto the board, it will go from where the board starts. If they get onto the board, the measurement will be taken from that position where they jump from.
And there's going to be a delay because I think Catherine Muller-Rocca is being interviewed at the loudspeaker at the moment, so Carlsson doesn't have silence. The reigning European champion going for 3 in a row. Best global result, bronze in the World Championships at Doha in 2015. Victoria Carlsson from Sweden, a nation of brilliant jumpers. She went for it anyway.
On the track, it's time for the men's T37
And
1
the
meters.
measurement
Und auf der Bahn kommen wir nicht zur Ruhe, denn jetzt geht es als nächstes die 400 Meter
Going
der
from
Herren
the,
T37.
last indentation and the chalk to the first in the sand. So now the final of the men's 400 metres, T37. Some prime championship medalists in this: Bertrand of France, Kukowski of Poland. 2 previous medalists in this. Starting off in lane 2 for Cyprus, the 18-year-old who finished 10th in the 400 metres at the World Championships in London last year, Viktoras Pantaris. Lane 3 for France. Bronze in the long jump in the last Europeans in Grosseto, and 4th in this 400 metres, Valentin Bertrand. Lane 4 for France. Different singlet though. First major championship for the man from Albi, the French school slalom kayak champion, Renaud Clerc. In lane 5, bronze in the 400 metres at last year's World Championship in London from Poznan, Michał Kukowski. Lane 6 from Ireland, 5th in the 400 metres and 7th in the 200 in last year's World Championship, Paul Kyogen from Dublin. Lane 7, first major championship for the 19-year-old from Ukraine, Yaroslav Okapinski. Same age in lane 8, first major championship for the Bayer Leverkusen clubman, Moritz Rakowski. Kukowski in lane 5, a massive fan of Adam Kashot, who struck gold yet again across town a fortnight ago. For Poland, they won 7 gold medals along with Britain, the joint best in terms of winning titles in the European Athletics Championships 2 weeks ago. Tarasson 2, Bertrand 3, Clerc 4, Kukowski 5, Kyogen 6, Okapinski 7, Rakowski 8. The final of the men's 400 metres. T37, coordination impairment. Away they go first time in the single lap battle. It's a good start by Kukowski in 5. It's a very solid start by Kyogen for Ireland in lane 6. Coming up alongside Kapinski in 7. Rakowski and Jeremy beginning to be left behind. Kukowski coming onto his own quite well in the back straight, but Kyogen's going well. Okapinski's going well. They're in lanes 5, 6 and 7 on the inside. Bertrand trying to respond for France. Clerc likewise. They'll straighten up. Heading for the final straight is Kukowski for Poland, who's well out in front of the big battle for silver and bronze. Okapinski's now in second place. Clerc moving up for France. Kyogen of Ireland's in fourth place. Kukowski's going to be the European champion for Poland. Oh, and there's a faller. Okapinski of Ukraine is second. Kyogen going up for third, but it's been grabbed by the Frenchman Clerc. So unfortunate. Bertrand was in the bronze medal position and he went over. Kukowski gets the gold. A dramatic final. That will happen in coordination impairment. Okapinski gets the silver. 53.31 the winning time for the new European champion from Poznan, Michał Kukowski. Clerc grabbed the bronze in the end, pipping Ireland's Paul Kyogen into fourth place. An incredible decider. It's the second strongest of the 4 standing categories of coordination impairment. And it certainly came into play, unfortunately, for Valentin Bertrand there. He's never won a championship medal on the track. He has in the jumps. He's the man in lane 3 in the blue singlet for France. It was going well for him in the second half of the race. Going very well, Okapinski of Ukraine in that new modern blue that they wear. Now look at the other man in blue. Clerc in third place, Kyogen in fourth, Kukowski leading, and then suddenly Bertrand topples over. It's the spasticity coming into play, and Kyogen denied bronze on the line by Clerc. Okapinski solid in second, and Kukowski was away from all the drama as he takes the gold medal for Poland. Big fan of Adam Kashot, and I'm sure now vice versa. They are both European champions. Penteras put a lot into that. Down the field in the end for Cyprus. His career can only improve for the youngster. Michał Kukowski is the new European champion for Poland. 53.31. Okapinski the silver for Ukraine. Clerc the bronze for France by 1600s from Kyogen of Ireland in fourth. There was drama. and then some.
Well, here may be some more drama. The men's 100 metres T51 final. 5 to start, and a man there in Peter Hennen, who broke the world record 3 times in 1 month back in May, before he then managed to dislocate his hip, moving between chairs. But that's the man he's going to be up against. He's going to be the big threat, Tony Pispanen. Sustained an injury at a karate show back in 1993, which then led to him taking up parasport.
In lane 4, representing Great Britain.
Stephen Osborne of Great Britain. He took up para-athletics in 2011, formerly a wheelchair rugby athlete. Bronze in both the last 2 European Championships. Held at Mestre of Portugal. Will go in lane 5, a lifetime best of 23.10. 5th 2 years ago. There is the man I was talking about who broke the world record 3 times earlier this year before dislocating his hip. What can he come up with here after a short preparation? Peter Hennen of Belgium.
And in lane 7, representing Germany.
Also a former wheelchair rugby player is Peter Hennen. So there's 3 of them in this race. And Ronnie Zisma, the home favourite, the big crowd cheer. A former hand cyclist. He switched to wheelchair racing in 2013. Before his accident, he represented Germany in gymnastics. We said they come to this sport in different ways. That is one of them. So Pispanen in 3, Osborne of Great Britain in 4, Mestre of Portugal in 5, Hennen of Belgium in 6, and Zisma of Germany in 7. Well, away they go, and Hennen's got away to a very good start. Pispanen's got away pretty well on the inside, but it's Peter Hennen of Belgium who's gone away very, very quickly. Can he do something special in this race after being out for such a long time? Pispanen is testing on the inside, but it's Hennen on the outside there in lane 6, who has the lead at the moment. They're down 15 metres to go. It's Hennen who's going to take the victory. What sort of time is he going to cross him? Pispanen, 22.89, a new championship record, and across in 3rd position in lane 4. It's Stephen Osborne of Great Britain who picks up the bronze medal, but the championship record is set there by the man from Belgium, Peter Hennen. 22.82, the championship record is set there, which was held by the man he beat home into 2nd place. He set it 4 years ago in Tony Pispanen. Well, they've had some jousts over the year. He set 3 world records early this year, did that man, Peter Hennen. He dislocated his hip. He had to take some time out. He came back, and what a way to come back. Quick out of the blocks indeed. He was never headed at the 50-metre mark. It was just a race in 2. Pispanen of Finland on the inside couldn't live with him. And it's Peter Hennen who picks up the victory. Pispanen of Finland in 3rd place. A battle on there between Stephen Osborne of Great Britain and Helder Mestre of Portugal, but it's Osborne of Great Britain who takes home the bronze medal. Well, such arm speed out of the blocks from the man from Belgium. His first major championship was at Swansea back in 2014. 4 years on, he's done plenty in the sport. He's won gold before over the 100 and 400 metres in 2016. He's added 100 metres already here at these 2018 championships in Berlin. Double world champion as well, Paralympic champion. Another European championship for Peter Hennen of Belgium. And the championship record to boot, 22.82. Tony Pispanen in 2nd place from Finland with a silver. And Stephen Osborne of Great Britain, 25.68, picking up the bronze medal.
Not far for Polish fans to travel. They were here in numbers at the Olympic Stadium a fortnight ago, and as you can see here too. Likewise, France Good result again for Peter Cannon. Obviously, Finland very strong in the wheelchair racing, be it in the 30s or the 50s, and 51 the most restricted of the wheelchair racing categories, excluding coordination impairment. Women's long jump final in the T11 heating up. More on that anon. Quite a good bit of action in the field as well in terms of the discus that we'll be keeping you updated on. But it's a nice lap of honour for Peter Cannon, Tony Bisbinen, and for Great Britain, Stephen Osborne. Yesterday was not a day for the sunscreen, but today certainly is. It's approaching 7 p.m. here in Berlin. Sun beaming straight into this main stand. So here's the four in the final of the women's long jump T11. Victoria Karlsson of Sweden, Leabel Quintana of Spain, Ronja Oya of Finland, and Merital Playa-Faus, Barcelona-born of Spain. Karlsson, who's won the last two European titles, lives in Gothenburg, a brilliant athletic city. It's hosted European outdoors and indoors in the last dozen years. Outdoors in the Ullevi in 2006, where they really showed their mettle as a great enthusiastic athletics nation, and then had the indoors in the Scandinavium 5 years ago. That's held a few European competitions in its time. So enthusiastic for their athletics there, as indeed, as we saw at the Olympic Stadium a fortnight ago, they are here in Germany. So now the final of the men's 200 metres T13, featuring the fastest Paralympian there's ever been in Jason Smith. So from the outside, lane 8, fourth in the 400 metres 4 years ago in Swansea, the Europeans, for Turkey, Mustafa Kutsun. Didn't compete in Grosseto, 12th in the 200 metres in the last two World Championships in Doha and in London. In lane 7 for Romania. Best results come in the jumping competitions. Octavian Tukilyuk. In lane 6 for Poland, the World Junior 200 metres champion. He'll be a live candidate here, and 4th in the 200 metres of the last Europeans, Jakob Nikpon. In lane 5 for Poland, the reigning European champion over 100 and 200 metres, and the former world champion from 2013, Mateusz Michalski. The man who's never lost a championship race in his career. 14 major championship golds for Ireland, Jason Smith. The reigning world and Paralympic champion didn't compete in the last Europeans. In lane 3 for Switzerland, silver in the 100, bronze in the 200 in the 2012 Europeans in Stadtkanal. 3 successive championships in which he's won bronze in the 100 metres. But Jason Smith is the man they all have to beat. The 5-time Paralympic champion, 7-time world champion. And since the Europeans were revived, twice European champion. 100, 200 in Swansea in 2014. Vegard Dragsund of Norway does not start in lane 2. Smith's occasionally regular roommate at the major championships, Dr. Michael McKillop, is not here. But we know you're watching. The tension mounting. Handler in 3, Smith 4, Michalski 5, Nikpon 6, Tukilyuk in 7, Kutsyuk in lane 8. Handler will be pushing for the medals again. Once a European silver medalist 6 years ago, Jason Smith has mopped up all the gold since then. Away in the final of the men's 200 metres T13. Smith off to a flyer, of course he was. Michalski alongside him for Poland, but for how long as they straighten up? Nippon going well for Poland as well. Smith is away and clear. Michalski trying to bridge the gap, but it's impossible. Jason Smith is going to do it again. European champion, 21:44, and it would have been a Polish 2-3, but Nippon fell before the line. Michalski in second, Handler gets the bronze, and Jason Smith a championship record, 21:44, and he smashes the championship record from 13 years ago that he held. Of course he did. Jason Smith the champion again for the 5th time. He's European champion. Well, he got off to an absolutely scintillating start as usual. Maciej Michalski made it interesting for a long time, without a doubt. Nippon looking very good in 3rd position for Poland, and then down he went. Smith didn't. Michalski in 2nd, really tight in 3rd. That might have gone to Tukieluk. But Smith, as usual, a class apart from the rest. The fastest Paralympian ever. And he's done it again. Greta Stray-Mikita earlier, Jason Smith now. Ireland have had 3 competitors in action this week. 2 golds and a 4th place. Can they keep it up? Well, he always does. Jason Smith is the European champion once more. And Tukieluk given 3rd, just ahead of Handler in 4th. 21:44, it's close to his world record. A championship record for Jason Smith. Gold for Ireland. Maciej Michalski the silver for Poland. And Tukieluk indeed the bronze for Romania.
Throwing at 3, the world record holder for Ukraine.
Als Dritter für die Ukraine, Weltrekord und Europarekordhalter Roman Daniluk.
Throwing at 4.
And Thomas Barr starting off the Irish medal haul within this month. In the other Euros across town in the 400 hurdles, he was well received in his hometown of Dunmore East last week. He arrived on a boat. Plain sailing in the long jump so far.
Well, this is an event that takes a little while longer than most other events, due to the nature of the athlete needing some silence as they take their jump.
Unfortunately, you've been waiting a while here. It is quite a din around this great stadium.
Well, Biel Quintana, her first attempt. Spaniard. First time in long jump at a major championship. Normally runs in the 1, 2, 4 and 800 metres. Let's see how she goes here. Well, it's a legal jump.
And this long jump is currently being led by Victoria Carlson.
A shorter run off there for Biel Quintana. You see about 10 strides and off the board. Second of these athletes to go in this event. 4 altogether taking part. Sweden, Finland and Spain represented, 2 from Spain. The most of the visually impaired categories, the T11. So the guide always required in whatever event the T11s take part in. 3:54, so she's in second position at the moment, behind Victoria Karlsson of Sweden. Next up, Ronja Oja of Finland.
Next, we're ready for the women's 200 metres T54.
Karlsson's way out in front at the moment.
Yeah, it's her brother who's with her, Jesper, who obviously is one of the national sports in Finland. They had the Pavanumi Games earlier in the summer, where I think there's actually a little bit of para-athletics involvement, and more than 3/4 of the TVs tuned in Finland at the time were watching that event. Oja's had a really impressive career, particularly at European level, where she won silver in the long jump 2 years ago, bronze in the 100 metres, and she's in the silver medal position here with 4:26.
New season best as well. Women's 200 metres T54 next up on the track. Wheelchair event. Amanda Kataja of Finland. Talking of Finland with the long jump, she'll be going in this 200 metre final. Leah Bagula of Belgium, formerly a wheelchair basketball until 3 years ago. Hobby of gospel singing. So back to the long jump, the fourth of the competitors. Clara Fels of Spain.
Yeah, she finished fourth in the 100 metres 2 years ago. She was fifth in a very competitive long jump. And things went wrong for Spain in the 4x1 that she was competing in. T11, complete visual impairment. A remarkable event. And she went out a nice distance. There are no measurement markings on the side because the measuring begins where the indentation of the chalk dust ends. It can be very hard to judge with the naked eye if somebody's managed to get out into the lead. Everybody, though, has had a successful leap so far, which we didn't see in the 63s earlier with Popov and Wagner and company. Obviously, they've got a larger area in which to take off. Karlsson with the championship record leads 4:67 for Sweden. Oja second, 4:60. Oh, it's changed! Playa Faust is our new leader, championship record, 4:73 in the gold medal position for Spain.
Representing Belgium.
Leah Bagula, formerly the wheelchair basketballer. She's now on the track in the T54 wheelchair category. The two athletes from Finland taking place in this race, the first of the major championships. That lady there, Sini Pakeri, 17 years of age, season best and lifetime best of 32.89. Margaret Vandenbroek, silver in the 5,000 metres yesterday. Our hero, Marcel Hug, he was a victor in the 5,000 metres category as well yesterday. Alexandra Helbling, she also went in that 5,000 metres, just missed out on a medal, coming in fourth. She won bronze over 800 metres in Swansea 4 years ago. Here's the lady to look out for, Amanda Kataja. Gold in the 2015 World Championships. She won the 100 metres gold back in London last year as well. And then Zebeda Subigici of Turkey. Took silver 2 years ago in Grosseto. Won the 100 metres gold 2 years ago, so she is the reigning champion. Turkey well represented at these championships.
On your marks.
So expect the inside turn to get away quickly. And they do just at that. Look at there, Kataya, who's already well up onto the wheel of Helbling on the outside. She's gone rocketing past there with around 50 metres of this race gone, but also doing well as Supergetchi of Turkey on the inside. She's doing extraordinarily well, Supergetchi, and she's actually taken the lead. So it's Supergetchi in first place, Kataya in second, Helbling, who's in third. It's a race in three there, but Supergetchi at the moment is holding off. Looks like Kataya is going to be pushed back into third place. It's Alexandra Helbling of Switzerland who's going to take the silver. They're going across in first place in a championship record of 30.93. It is Zubeda Supergetchi of Turkey who's taken a second consecutive European Championship medal. What a race indeed from her. A championship record for her, beating one set back in 2003, 15 years ago, from Rachel Potter of Great Britain. That one set back in Arsene. So a 15-year record has been absolutely smashed by that lady there, Zubeda Supergetchi of Turkey. There are your second and third place finishers. Amanda Kataya there taking second for Finland. And Alexandra Helbling, disappointment for her in the 5,000 metres yesterday, but she picked up a medal here in the 200 metres. Well, there is Supergetchi on the inside. She powered away in that final 100. Helbling coming past Kataya's front wheel there to pick up the silver medal. And Kataya, she'll have to be content with picking up bronze in these championships. But gold for Turkey. Making it 2 in a row in the European Championships for Supergetchi. Well, Kataya was the quickest away. Supergetchi went up on her back wheel, but it looked like Kataya with 150 was really going to race away, but Supergetchi overhauled her with about 100 to go, and from there it was just a race to see how quick she could finish in. The answer, quick indeed. Breaking a 15-year championship record. Oh, she's happy, all right. And here's the reason why. Championship record 30.96 for Supergetchi. Helbling with a silver, and Amanda Kataya takes third place and bronze.
Kataya with a very, very good result. And even though there was no medal for young Sini Pakeri, the 17-year-old, and she only turned 17 a fortnight ago at the start of August, still happy to bask in the spotlight at the European Championships. Bronze for Kataya to add to the collection, and Supergetchi, what a really impressive win. That championship record, 30.96. Rachel Potter had that championship record 15 years, set in Assen in one of the very early European Championships.
So Victoria Carlson in the T11 long jump. She had the lead early on. And that there is certainly a legal jump. Her first jump was a new lifetime best of 4.67. She had the lead, but we saw Playa Fals of Spain set a championship record of 4.73 to go 6 centimetres ahead. What's the response from Carlson? Not enough. It's 4.63. She stays second.
Well, that 4.67 had been a championship record. It is a lifetime best for her as well. Oja of Finland with that 4.26 in the opening round. Didn't use the board at all, and with the naked eye, it doesn't look terribly long compared to what we're used to seeing from her. And she gave some centimetres away. Even if she clipped the chalk dust, they'd have been able to start measuring a bit further in. Gave a few centimetres away. 4.26 in the opening round, which was the season's best for her. 3.97 had been her season's best going into it. Extra 50 centimetres would give her the lead, but I'm not certain that she's been able to find them. Her lifetime best is 4.30. She's really close to that in the opening round. With a temp which came only 4 centimetres away. from Espoo, just outside Helsinki, where the Angry Birds are from. 4:09, doesn't improve. The final of the men's 200 metres, T54. Could there be another medal for Finland here with the great Leo Petataki, Britain of Nathan Maguire and Richard Kiyosara. Kenny van Weigel for the Netherlands also. Multi-medalist across his career. Almost everybody in this final has won a championship medal before. In lane 8 for Sweden, fourth in the 100 and 200 in the last two European Championships, Nicholas Almers. He's also twice been the Swedish wheelchair dancing champion. In lane 7 for Germany, fourth in the 5,000 metres, decided yesterday, David Scherer. In lane 6, the three-time European champion, the reigning 400 metres Paralympic champion for the Netherlands, Kenny van Weigel. In lane 5 for Great Britain, the reigning European champion over 200 metres, and also gold in the 4x4. It's Richard Kiyosara. In lane 4 for Great Britain, fourth in the 1500 metres at the Commonwealth Games in Gold Coast this year. 4x4 gold in the relay in the last Europeans, Nathan Maguire. In lane 3, the 5 times Paralympic, 3 times world champion, Leo Pekkatati for Finland. In lane 2, the reigning world junior 800 and 1500 metre champion for Austria, Ludwig Malta. And in lane 1 for Portugal, he's 15 years old, the first major championship for Rafael Neto.
It's a loaded race. It's the men's 200 metres T54 final.
All the action in lanes 3 to 6, surely. Tati with 5 Paralympic goals, Van Weigel with 2. Now Richard Kiyosara, who took this title, this very title, 2 years ago in Italy. Neto in 1, Malta 2, Tati 3, Maguire, Kiyosara, Van Weigel, Scherer and Almers in the 200 metres T54. They're away. There had been a small bit of movement which didn't trigger the gun though beforehand from Kiyosara. Tati's looking good, that's why they call him the Flying Finn. He's straightening up and he's well in the lead. And Van Weigel's going brilliantly as well. But look at him go. Leo Pekkatati over 200 metres. Van Weigel in second place. Kiyosara and Maguire are jostling for the bronze for Britain. It's Tati who takes the Van Weigel in second place. And Maguire's got the bronze for Britain ahead of the outgoing European champion, Kiyosara, in fourth place. 24:74, the winning time. And that is a new championship record. The Finnish Sports Personality of the Year, 2016. Full stop. Not the para-athlete of the year, the full Sports Personality of the Year. An absolute legend in Finnish sport. And he got away so well. His nickname so up today. Kenny van Weigel has had a great career. The Paralympic 400 metres champion, silver in the 2 and the 4 in London last year, and silver here. And what a British battle for the bronze, which Nathan Maguire took ahead of Richard Kiyosara. And Leo Pekkatati has done it yet again. That is his 4th European gold since these championships were revived in 2012 after a 7-year break. And Van Weigel found himself a good bit back, but still well clear of the 2 British athletes. Kiyosara might have expected a bit more from. There have been a few injury problems, certainly, but Maguire shot past him very well. They've got a very good relay squad as well, of course, with those 2 battling for medals here against each other. But that new championship record of Van Weigel's has gone. Tati, 24.74. Van Wiegel was actually inside his own championship record as well by a small matter of 600ths. It was 25.73 from all those years ago. 24.74 for Leo Pettitati. The hashtag isn't his, but the gold medal definitely is. His 12th major championship title. And from one Finn to another. Oh, yeah. David.
Ronja Oja in the T11 women's long jump. Finland is the go at the moment. And that's a much better jump than her previous effort. Currently in third position. Yeah, hit the board much better that time. She was well up there. As straight as a die there. Silver medalist 2 years ago. Currently third. Needs some improvement to catch up with Victoria Carlson, who's just on her left there, who's currently occupying the silver medal position. Well, season best in her first one. Hasn't bettered it though, only 1 centimetre worse off, but she remains in third position.
So Leo Pettitati, a new championship record, 24.74, wins the men's 200 metres T54. Kenny Van Wiegel, the silver for Netherlands, 25.67, and bronze for Douglas. And Nathan Maguire in third. So Diana Dudzite in the women's discus F55, the 3 times world champion, and leading this.
In lane 2, representing
gold in the shot, the javelin, and the discus in London last year at the World Championships. And that, another solid effort. That's her best so far. And a winning throw for sure. Daniela Todorova, Bulgaria, with a lifetime best of 18.45 in second position. But Dudzite will not be turned over here. She won bronze in the discus 2 years ago, but 22 metres 46. A terrific distance here. Another gold in the career of Latvia's Diana Dudzite, 22.46, with Todorova the silver for Bulgaria, and Novikova the bronze for the Czech Republic.
Well, the men's 200 metres T61 final, 3 starters. Richard Whitehead will go as favourite. This, of course, a new category this year, reclassified for those formerly in the 42 class, the double above knee amputees who compete with 2 prosthesis. That man's been busy today. He was long jumping not so long ago. Luke Sinnott. No medal in that. Lifetime best of 27.77, the man who took up the para-athletics a couple of years ago. Latchin of Germany will go from lane 4. Took up the sport after watching athletes prepare for London 2012. That's a way to be inspired. And this man needs no introduction. Formerly in the T42 category. Gold over 100 and 200 2 years ago in Grosseto. It is Richard Whitehead of Great Britain. A storied career. He's competed in para-swimming, Paralympic Winter Games and para-cricket as well. But this is, without doubt, what he will be remembered for. The motivational speaker. So gold and silver up for grabs in this one. Luke Sinnott, disappointment when he missed out in the long jump last year in the T42 in London, finishing in 4th. What can he pick up here? You would expect Richard Whitehead to really blast through the field there with that wide action. There he goes. Whitehead gets away quickly. Also getting away quickly is the German, Ali Laschen. He got away quick indeed, but here comes Richard Whitehead. Now he wind up into that last 100 metres and really pick up speed as he goes along. So it's a race there in first for Richard Whitehead against himself, because Laschen of Germany's back in second, Luke Sinnott in third. Let's just have a look at the clock, shall we, and what sort of time he goes across that. Richard Whitehead, as I said, a racing one, 24.22 seconds, running into a slight headwind. And it's the German who gets across there and picks up silver, falling across there, Ali Laschen. But it's Richard Whitehead of Great Britain who picks up the gold medal. Silver to Germany. Richard Whitehead, as I said, formerly in that T42 category, which has been reclassified this year into T61. Now, these records won't be ratified until in the new year on the 1st of January 2019. So whoever gets in first then will pick up a world record. Richard Whitehead, 24.22. Well, he's much better in the 200 metres. It takes a bit of time to wind up, does Richard Whitehead. You can see with that way those prostheses move in like a chopping action. But he really gets going with some speed there. 24.22. You just see the German, he just sort of stumbles there as he gets to the line and manages to get across. That could have been quite painful, I'm sure it was, but the joy of winning a silver medal is going to outstrip that for the man whose brother and himself owns a confectionery shop. You can have a sweet or two to celebrate for that one in Berlin, where the shop is. There is Richard Whitehead going across to pick up that gold medal. Silver to Germany, just. And Luke Sinnott coming across in third position. But there he is, you can see from that angle, that's a brilliant camera shot from straight on there. With the way Richard Whitehead's legs just whip around in that helicopter motion. Now, you've seen before in the past that the athletes can almost knock each other if they are close, but fortunately there, Whitehead was way in front of Laschen, who picked up the silver medal. Being led away for those post-race interviews. So Whitehead, 24.22, picks up the gold. Laschen with the silver, and Luke Sinnott finished in third position.
He's in a class of his own. Victoria Karlsson of Sweden. This is the fourth round of the T11 long jump. 4.67, the previous championship record, lifetime best. 6 centimetres off the lead with Playa Faust in front with that championship record, 4.73. She's knocking on the door persistently, perennially.
Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Whitehead. Congratulations to Richard Whitehead.
Karlsson's guide sidestepping. We don't get told actually who the guides are in the field events as opposed to the track, unfortunately, but they're very important in this as well. She's won the European title in the last 2 years.
Congratulations, Richard.
And you have to be quick as well to move out of the way just before they jump, otherwise you'll be clattered.
Karlsson with a championship record, 4.73, and on count back goes into the gold medal position. She's got a championship record back, along with Playa Faust, who's up now. Equal championship record, 4.73 for both, but the second best lead by Karlsson is 4 centimetres better than that of Playa Faust. There's a competition and a half.
We've just seen the new champion complete.
Karlsson had held a championship record of 4.48 from 4 years ago in Swansea.
The best point of the competition, 11.17, means that it was bronze to Poland, Michał Klap, silver to Croatia, Denis Erni, and in the circle,
Marichal Playa Faust, who lives now in Cerdanyola, Barcelona born. Well counted, sir. Well jumped, Meritel. European record's a very old one. Purificación Ortiz from 1997 in Burgos. Championship record's already been broken 3 times in this. That's around the same ballpark from Playa Faust. Needs to be beyond 467 to take the lead on countback, and obviously beyond 473 she's got the lead again outright. By European standards, this is a very high level of competition. No wavering in terms of the straightness of the run. Playa Faust, it's a decent attempt. It's good, but it's not great. 461, still in the silver medal position. Other airlines are available. We're not far from Tegel. So the final's done. We've a heat action to round off the day. Men's 200 metres T64. Another of the new events. We'll see Ronald Hertog in track action. Very good long jumping. So lane 6, the twice European long jump bronze medalist for France, Jean-Baptiste Leys, originally from Burundi. Lane 5 from Italy. Silver in the 400 metres of the World Championships in London last year, Simone Menegrasso. Lane 4 for Spain. 5th in the 400 metres in London last year in the Worlds, and 9th in the 200 metres, Alberto Avila Chamorro. And the perennial long jump medalist, silver in London last year, Rio the year before that, Doha the year before that, but bronze in the 200 metres in the 2014 Euros in Swansea. For the Netherlands, Ronald Hertog. He's on the IAAF circuit quite a lot as well. He competes in the Cork City Sports every year in that, and he's normally quite high up. He was second there behind Adam McMullen this year of Ireland. First 3 and the next 2 fastest losers to go through to the final. Men's 200 metres T64, single below knee prosthesis category. One of the 4 new ones. Hertog in 3, Avila 4, Menegrasso 5, Leys in 6. All for a spot in the top 3. Go through automatically. In the men's 200 metres.
On your mark.
Hertog in 3, Avila 4, Menegrasso 5, Leys in 6. Top 3 into the final. Away first time, solid start by Menegrasso, who's got away very well in lane 5, shooting away. Looks in a class of his own so far. Hertog, when he straightens up, will certainly challenge him. Menegrasso in the lead. Hertog looks as if he's going to win this heat. It's a semi-final. It looks like that success for Ronald Hertog. He's flying. Hertog will take Menegrasso second, Avila third. They're all through. 23:48 the winning time, and Jean-Baptiste Leys of France was in 4th position. Will have to hang on as the fastest loser. But that was a nice win for Ronald Hertog. And a nice win, a rare win on the track for him. 23:48, he took it by about a quarter of a second from Menegrasso in 23:85 in second. He's got great speed and the runway and the long jump. He's up against Marcus Leys so often. Another event where boundaries are consistently smashed. That's a nice singlet the Dutch have. It's like the Euro 88 jersey. Okay. And Hertog, very swift in it. But away so strongly Managrasso for Italy straight away in lane 5. The man born in Monza. And then extra revs from Hertog in lane 3 to take the heat. But Hertog through, Managrasso through, and Avila as well. It's half a second outside his season's best. He was a javelin thrower, you may remember, very early on in his career, and a successful one, but persistent shoulder trouble. He switched to the long jump, switched to sprinting, and he's proven to be even better in that. It's actually nice to see him win a semi-final. And that's reminiscent of Arsenal's away kit in 1991. So, Ronald Hertog wins, 23-48. He's through. Managrasso in second, and Avila in third. All in the final. Blaise has to wait.
So back to the long jump, the T11. 5th attempt for Player Phelps. Currently in second position. 4.73. When she had that equal championship record. Needs something special as she's about to run out of jumps soon. So Player Phelps in second position. Victoria Carlson is in first.
Well, it's really competitive between her and Carlson right now. The gold could go anywhere.
And Carlson will show you her 5th jump shortly. But that's the 5th jump of Player Phelps of Spain.
Remember, Carlson has had the lead over Player Phelps on countback. They both went out to 4.73, but Carlson's second longest attempt was slightly further.
4.50, no improvement. 4.73 her best. She stays in second position.
Eder in the women's javelin. Natalia Eder of Austria, what a career she's had. Successful down through the years and looking good here. It's beyond the 30 metres in this F13 category. It is least visual impairment, but still a lot of visual impairment. And that looks good for the lead. We're in the early exchanges of this. European record goes back 24 years. Jenny Bergström of Sweden, and it was in this city and in this stadium. It certainly will be the lead for Eder. Silver in the last 2 European Championships in the javelin. The silver and the bronze in previous years and worlds, and 32.73 gives her the lead.
Well, Victoria Carlson now with her 5th attempt, level with a championship record with Player Phelps of Spain. 5th jump. Well, that looks long as well. That looks out there around the mark from the championship record earlier. It's a real two-way shootout, isn't it, between Carlson and Player Phelps in this T11 women's long jump category. Wonderful work by the guide again. Super work off the board. And there's the result. 4.76. She's improved and she now holds the championship record by herself by 3 centimetres. So back to the track we go for the men's 200 metres T64, the second heat. First 3 automatically through to the final. The next 2 fastest from this and the previous heat we saw a few moments ago qualify as well. Bjorn Nellen, 8th in Grosseto 2 years ago for the Belgian. Inside him from Germany, this will be a cheer, Felix String. He took gold in this event back in 2014. He was silver in the last running 2 years ago. He's also quite a renowned long jumper in the past as well. Emmanuel Di Marino of Italy, 5th a couple of years ago for the 29-year-old. Levi Vloot of the Netherlands, 22 years of age, his first major championships, so he'll be feeling the pressure. And Dimitri Pavard from Colomiers from France will go in lane 3. So this class, as Will Downing mentioned a few moments ago, if you were listening, is the below the knee amputee section. Felix Strang will feel the pull of the crowd.
On your mark.
So Pavadi in 3, Vloot in 4, Di Marino in 5, Strang in 6, and Nellen of Belgium will go out wide in lane 7. First 3 automatically go through, and away they get quite quickly. Felix Strang, Di Marino on the inside of him, and Pavade, who's doing well on the inside, with Vloot just outside of him. But at the moment it's Felix Strang who looks like he's going to go through and take first place. It's a battle on between France, the Netherlands and Italy for those remaining 2 places. Pavade looks like he's going to go through in second. It's not going to matter too much because he's going to take second position. He just stumbles across the line to take it. And the Dutch runner Vloot picks up 3rd position, but Felix Strang, there he is, 25.69, a new championship record for Strang in 22.36. So he didn't even look like he was doing it too difficultly, did Felix Strang, breaking his own record that he set 4 years ago. So he cruised through to victory there, and he's going to be the one to look out for in the final. Felix Strang, you can see he's around 20 metres ahead, but well, he just eased up, didn't he, towards the end? And he still set a new championship record, beating his own. Pavade going through over the line there in 2nd place, and Vloot of the Netherlands picks up the automatic 3rd place qualification.
So back to the long jump. This is the final attempt for Victoria Carlson. 4.76 championship record last time out. We've seen 4 championship records in this competition, and it certainly is infusing the crowd of a few thousand here in the home of Dynamo Berlin. Now, Carlson might just need to get another championship record here to make sure, because Playa Faust is still to go. Bill Quintana's retired injured, so it's 4th for her. Oya currently 3rd. Playa Faust with 4.73 in the silver medal position, and Carlson currently leads with that 4.76 in the previous round. She's broken the championship record 3 times in this, and Bill Quintana, or Playa Faust, should I say, the ones.
Jetzt heißt es warten. Also euren Riesenapplaus schon mal, Medaille sicher für Deutschland, Martina Winning.
So Carlson waiting. Oh, it's another championship record! 4 of her 6 leaps in this have been championship records. 4.77 for Carlson. She's in the gold medal position with 1 attempt to go. The championship record has gone 5 times in this event. And Carlson looking to go alongside the likes of Michelle Tornius as being a great multi-European medalist. She's won it twice previously. She's heading for 3 in a row, unless
Player Faust can come up with something quite extraordinary. Well, she needs more than 4 centimetres to equal. She needs 5 centimetres to win. Well, that's not too bad either. That's out there. That's given herself a very, very good chance. You can't fault that. Left nothing behind at all. Well, the T11 category, it never fails to live up to those high standards, does it? Wonderful jumping by both Carlson and Player Faust. Carlson leads by just those 4 centimetres with that championship record that they did hold together jointly at one point. As we wait in anticipation, not good enough, 4:45. So Player Faust picks up the silver, and Victoria Carlson is the gold medalist in the women's long jump T11 final. There she is. More championship records than hot dinners in this one. Victoria Carlson, at the end of it, claims the championship record for herself.
That was a very, very entertaining competition.
Well, there it is. Carlson, back-to-back gold medals in the European Championships, a championship record of 4:77. Player Faust picking up the silver, and in third place in a season best 4:26 for Ronja Oja of Finland. Well, I bet she was nervous there for a little while. Carlson, no need to at the end. There's the second heat in the men's 200 metres T64, confirmation of a championship record for Felix Streng, breaking his own record, 22:36. Pavard of France goes through, as does Vlut as well. And those 2 fastest losers, Alesi of France and Di Marino of Italy, makes up the numbers.
That was a nice win by Victoria Carlson, and she was really pushed for it. Heat 1 then of the women's 400 metres T20, 6 going in this 3 to progress to the final, including the Paralympic silver medalist from 2 years ago, Natalia Izlovetska of Ukraine, and former European silver medalist Eric Keristesi. Starting off in lane 3 for Portugal. 5th in the 800 metres final of the last Europeans, Karina Paim. From Lisbon, of the Sporting Club de Portugal. Lane 4 for Hungary, silver in the 400 metres 4 years ago in Swansea. 4th 2 years ago in Grosseto, Eric Keristesi for Hungary. In lane 5 for the Czech Republic. The Junior Paralympian of the Year for 2017. Great success in the World Juniors for Teresa Titorova. In lane 6 for Ukraine. Silver in the 400 metres in the World Championships in Doha 2015 and in Rio 2016 for Natalia Izlovetska from Kiev. Lane 7. The reigning 800 metres European champion and the former 1500 metres world champion for Poland, Aleta Melo. And in lane 8 for Turkey, bronze in the 800 metres of the World Championships last year in London, Hüseyin Gezel. Very soon, a park will be built in her name in the home city of Burhanai. At these World Para-Athletics, European Championships, it's a strong field. T20, the intellectual category. Top 3 to go through, plus the next 2 fastest.
On your mark.
Pine, Kristesi,
Girls,
Titarova,
stand up, please, and
Izlevecka,
stand back from the mark.
Nelok and Gezer. And they'll just have to do it again. As Natalia Izlevecka.
Well, just before this race starts, we didn't salute them. They're making their way in front of the sandpit. Let's welcome especially the medalists in that F12. Bronze in the shot put went to Miljanko Vukic of Croatia.
So it's a fine field of 6 here, and they're waiting just a little reset for these athletes. It is the intellectual category. So tactical ability is not a component. It's Pyman 3, Kristesi 4, Titarova 5, Izlevecka 6, Melek 7 and Gezer in 8. Top 3 to qualify for the final of the women's 400 metres in the T20. So away they go. There was a little jiggle on the block from Aletta Melok, but not enough to send the gun off again. Izlevecka is away in lane 6 and looking very strong here for Ukraine. And Paim is going great guns as well. Look at this. Well, the athlete in lane 3 is the one who's noticeably out in front here with a straight line going across. Obviously, in the 400 metres, it's all in a stagger. She is well clear at the moment. There's daylight between her and the rest. Has she gone out too strong? We shall see. Paim of Lisbon, of Portugal. And she's way, way out in front. She's never won a major championship medal. This is really impressive. 100 metres to go in the closing straight. And Paim is well clear. Izlevecka, Ukraine, is in 2nd position. And Kristesi of Hungary is in 3rd. This is impressive for Paim. It's going to be a championship record by a long way. 58.69 for Paim for Portugal. Izlevecka in 2nd, Kristesi 3rd. They go through. Melek will have to wait. Titarova in 5th. Oh, wow, what a performance by Karina Paim. She just went out from the gun. The top 2 inside the championship record from Ilona Biasti of Hungary from 4 years ago. And actually, Kristesi, who was 3rd, was also inside the championship record. That was amazing. Paim just went off and she dragged the rest with her.
Final throw of the competition for Ada of Austria, ranked 1.
Well, she shot away, and it's so unusual to see the athlete on the inside, that far in front of the rest, on the back straight. I've never seen it before. And the gap so immense in what is effectively a semi-final. 58.68 takes over 4 seconds off the championship record, and it's only 0.9 outside the European record of Barbara Novichel. We'll see her shortly. Paim untroubled, way, way clear. Big gap back to Izlevecka. Big gap back to Kristesi, and Melek with what's normally a good time of 1:05 in this, in 4th place. Wow.
In the seated discus throw, the F57 final throw coming up for Ivanka Maleva of Bulgaria.
Of the Sporting Club in Lisbon. The footballers are playing Benfica next weekend. Here's Ada again then in the Javelin. She's our leader, potentially our gold medalist. 3rd attempt. Already seen 32.73 from her early on in this competition in the opening round, and that's well beyond 30. That's heading up towards 35. And she looks in a great position to get the gold here. The least visual impairment category, 34.77, and Ada is on her way to gold. Natalia Ada wins for Austria in the women's javelin. 34.77. Ruth Martinez of Spain the silver, and Rose Walepa of France the bronze. And that her first major championship medal after a series of European silvers. Paralympic bronzes in the last 2 games in London and Rio, and World Championship bronze in London as well. And Walepa, bronze in the last Europeans also. So Karina Pine wins that opening heat of the women's 400 metres T20 championship record, 52.68. Islovetska and Kanastasi also through. Melok and Titarova with impressive times. Good chance of being fastest losing.
The sun just setting here in Friedrich Ludwig Jahn Sport Park. Wonderful shot that.
That's a lovely stadium. It's
see if you can find us.
Nice size.
Where's Wally? Where's Wally? There he is, standing up on the left. There's always one. One more race on the track. The second day, 7 of these European Championships.
There's quite a bit still to be decided out in the field too. Love the colour scheme in this Friedrich Ludwig Jahn Sport Park.
Waiting for someone to do the floss.
The what?
Dancing move. You know nothing. Or a dab. Surely you know that. So here we go, the second heat, or semi-final, whatever you'd like to call it, of the women's 400 metres T20 intellectual impairment. Barbara Noviziel, European record holder, and Ioni Biaksi, who did hold the championship record until about 5 minutes ago. Katarina Husakova of the Czech Republic, nicknamed Cheeky. She'll go from 3.
In lane 4, representing Hungary.
In lane 4, it's Broska Conscious. Barbara Noviziel, gold in the last European Championships, plus the 1500 metres, silver at the World Championships last year. Outside her, Yulia Shilia of Ukraine, her first major championships. For the 21-year-old. Now this is the person who held the championship record until 5 minutes ago. As I said, Ioni Biaksi usually enjoys a bit more success over the longer distance. Her twin sister Bernadette, not here.
And in lane 8, representing Poland.
And Sabina Stenka Szymanska of Poland, silver medalist from Grosseto 2 years ago, will go from lane 8. First 3 to go through. Vitally important, you qualify automatically. And didn't we see something from Pime in the last race? Absolutely exploded, the Portuguese athlete. What will be the response from this 6? Noviziel in lane 5 from Poland was going to quit after London 2012, decided to continue. Has won 8 gold medals in the Euros, Worlds and Paralympics since then. Not a bad choice. And away they go. No problem there whatsoever. Noviziel gets away well. Stagger remaining as is at the moment, so there's no real movers. Now Konstas comes through on the inside from Hungary, so Conscious going through there ahead of Noviziel, and Shulia of Ukraine out there in lane 6. first three automatically qualify as they go around to the 200-metre mark, and working well through there is Broska Shontes of Hungary, who's moved into first place. Barbara Noviciel on her outside and sticking with her. Way out there in the outside lane, it's Zdenka Szymanska, the second of the Polish athletes, who's up there as well. But at this stage, it's the Hungarian Broska Shontes in lane 4. Barbara Noviciel in second place. She's going to have to get a move on because it's only the top three that go through. Her fellow Pole on the outside, Zdenka Szymanska, is going through there in second place at the moment. Noviciel might miss out here if she doesn't watch it. I think Noviciel's going to miss out. She may well just get there on the line. On the outside is her compatriot, Zdenka Szymanska, who takes it. Well, Shontes on the inside really tightened up there. So that there, a time of 59.70 seconds. Well, there is your winner. She's come home ever so well there in the end. Sabina Zdenka Szymanska. And I think Noviciel, her compatriot, who holds the European record, may well have just on the line and picked up third place. Well, that's the Polish athlete who was favoured to get the result. But if you look to your far left, you'll see Zdenka Szymanska. Look at that last 70 metres. Well, it looked like the Hungarian athlete who led for the majority of the race. Broska Shontes was going to take it, but she just tightens up at the end there. Zdenka Szymanska on the outside. Well, that is close. That is close indeed. Well, Julia looks like she's picked up second place there. So those two go through, and Zdenka Szymanska and Julia. Well, I think Noviciel might have just missed out here on an automatic qualification place. And she has, but she has qualified. Well, 1/100th of a second. Zdenka Szymanska, Julia and Shontes go through, but Noviciel and Yona Biaksi, who did hold the championship record, they'll go through as fastest losers.
The 8 fastest times there, all faster than the championship record. How about that, Ben?
Well, how about this? Giuseppe Campocchio.
Leader for Italy with a solid throw of 10 metres. This is the men's shot put F33. It's a coordination impairment seated event from Casino. Bronze in the shot at the Worlds. He's already gone over 10 metres, and that's another one. That is another one. He's on his way to gold by the looks of it. Big southern European feel to this. Croatia, Greece also prominent, but Campocchio from Casino. No gamble to say he's going to take this. 11.17 metres. That should be good for gold. Campocchio with a gold for Italy, 11.17. Dani Cerny, the silver for Croatia, 10.10. And Glab, the bronze for Poland, 9.57. In the qualifiers for the women's 400 metres T20, the top 8, all the qualifiers in the final actually going beyond the Ionia Biaksi's old championship record. Karima Pine the fastest, 58.68.
Also, hier kann man einen Riesenapplaus bitte für Silbermedaillengewinnerin aus Deutschland, aus Cottbus, Martina Willing.
So the sun is setting in the background. The lights have taken effect. And we're coming towards the end.
Another great, well-attended evening here in Berlin. What great action we've seen in the past 2.5 hours. So there's one more event which is still on, and it will continue on for the time being. Well, I can tell you, Orla Barry has just won it, the women's discus. Might not have time to see it. It's a third gold for Ireland tonight. She's the last in it. They've won 3 gold medals today. What's been a great day.
Victory for Daniel Wagner earlier.
Yes, this in the men's long jump in one of the new categories, the T63. 6:72, a new championship record. They carried over the old marks from the 40s. Now, Sabrina Fortune going in the women's shot put. This in F20 from Wrexham. Championship record in this as well, going out to 13 meters 30. It was the last throw, it was the best, and a new championship record.
This man here, Tony Falavaki.
So Ireland will take the first gold medal of Berlin 2018 with Greta's
That throw well out there. He picked up the gold medal in the men's javelin throw, F64. The man who took a year out in 2016, a season best of 54.76, picking up gold in the men's javelin throw, F64.
Loads of great action in the 100 metres as well, with Katrina Miller-Rutgart taking glory for Germany. 3 in a row, 12.78 for her, ahead of Melanie Vargas Gomez of Spain. Jose Ignaciak of Poland in third.
And this one here, Peter Hannon of Belgium, beating home his long-time rival, Tony Pispinen of Finland there in the number 3 helmet on the far side. He came back from a dislocated hip dip, Peter Hannon, and he showed his class after coming back from injury. Broke the world record 3 times earlier this year. He picks up the European Championship gold. Over 100 metres.
So we're just a couple of minutes away from our first medal presentation up at the Medal Plaza.
That there, the T51 final, then this in the shot put.
As a few moments ago from Campocchio, as he took glory in the F33 shot. The Italian veteran. Bronze in the shot. Last year's World Championships. Now he's the European champion. Could throw out beyond 10 metres to take the gold. That was 11 metres 17. Not very far off the championship record from 4 years ago. There's a new name on the scene, the 51-year-old. So cool, like Spencer Montalbano. He's got the gold. Well, Jason Smith winning one of 3 gold medals for Ireland today. This is the men's 200 metres T13 final. And by a good margin, he broke his own championship record, not far off the world record. 21.44 in the winning time as Greta Straight-Makita and Orla Barry, the latter in the past few seconds, with Ireland's additional gold medals today. Super Agechi with a terrific gold for Turkey. That in the T54, 200 metres for women.
A new championship record for Super Agechi as well. Holding off Alexandra Helbling of Switzerland and Amanda Kutaya. 30.96 for the Turkish athlete. Oh, yes, indeed. Got to love a celebration.
And Leo Penataki in the male equivalent, taking yet another European crown. So successful over 100 and 200 in his career. So well done to all our champions again today. Leo Penataki headlining. And a very solid winning margin. So congratulations then to our 22 victors today. It's been a very quick second day in Berlin. So magnificent Victor and Ola Barry just completing the final event of the day. Sadly, just past our cut-off point. So it's been a fantastic day. Hope you've enjoyed it all. Congratulations to our 22 victors, and we're back again for a double session tomorrow. So see you tomorrow morning. From Will Downing and Tulson Tollett, it's Jules.